It's Mejia May.
Yo, what up, everybody? My name is Danny Mejia, aka Mejia Made. Today, I'm gonna be showing y'all how to make a nostalgic Detroit sample. Let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so that was the sample right there. Y'all can hear super dreamy, super nostalgic. So let's go ahead and start breaking down the sample. So I was messing around on the piano, just trying to come up with different melodies, and this is what I came up with. So as soon as I played these keys, I knew kind of where the direction of the sample was going. It was going to go in a more nostalgic, dreamy type of sound. So from there, it was a lot easier to pick the other sounds that I was going to end up using for this sample. So the VST I used for this sample is, of course, Trident. I used the Digi Sim Piano 2 preset. For the effects, I didn't end up adding anything. The sound itself was super full. It was exactly what I was looking for, so I didn't feel the need to add anything. The only thing I ended up doing is rolling off some of that low end up until 90 hertz. So the next sound I added, I thought the piano was real nice. I like the melodies that I laid out, but I just needed something just a little bit brighter. So the VST I use for this sound is Trident. It's the Night Times EP preset. So the keys and the pad, they sounded real nice together. I just wanted to keep layering it just to make the sound a lot more interesting, which is the reason I added this sound over here. Let's listen to what it sounds like. So with the three sounds I currently have, this is what the sample currently sounds like. This sound right here is really starting to bring more of that dreaminess type of feel, filling out a little bit more of that top end, filling out some of those empty moments in the piano. So the VST I use for this sound, of course, is Trident. I use the Sin Ghostly preset. And because this sound was more like an airy pad, I ended up playing them like this instead of longer notes. Next up, back to the layering that I mentioned already. I wanted to just keep making it a lot more interesting. So this is the next sound I added. For this sound, unfortunately, I deleted the VST. I'm gonna go ahead and guess it was Trident though. The next sound I added is another pad. Let's listen to what it sounds like. So with all the sounds I've currently broken down so far, this is what the sample currently sounds like. You might be wondering why I keep layering so many pads, but from what I just played, y'all can tell the piano, that's where the majority of the melody comes from. But from the pads, it starts to fill out some of that empty space in the piano, and it really starts to make it sound just a lot more dreamy. It starts to fill out the sample a lot more. Next up, I wanted to add a little transition sound, which is this sound over here. So let's listen to what that sounds like. So the VST I use for this sound is Tau Uno LX. I use the PD PWM filter fade in preset. This is the next sound I added. So again, with this sound over here, it just added another layer of melody. What I really like about this sound that I added, it plays really well the piano melody. They kind of go back and forth. So let's listen to what both of those sound like. Oh, next up, I was scrolling through just different presets, just trying to figure out what else I can add to this sample. I ended up finding this other key sound, which I'll go ahead and play. And the VST I use for this key sound is by Massive X. I use the lovely 80s preset. And the next sound I added is like a build-up key type of sound. So let's listen to what that sounds like. The VST I use for this sound, of course, I don't even gotta say it anymore, is Massive X. It's the Wintry Tinkle preset. So as y'all can tell, those pad elements, they really start to fill out the keyboard sounds. But on the other hand, we have the melody portions, which have like a call and response type of feel. So you guys can understand a little bit more of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna just go ahead and play just the melody portions. And the last thing I did before I ended up exporting the sample, I rendered it out and then I pitched it down 2 semitones. So this is what it sounds like once it's pitched down. So yeah, you guys, that's how you guys can make a nostalgic Detroit type of sample. What I'm gonna do is actually play you guys a beat of how I flipped this sample myself. I just wanted to just mess around and just try to see what I could do with this sample just because I ended up liking it so much. So let's go ahead and listen to what that sounds like. Alright y'all, so now we're in the beat FLP. I'm gonna just go ahead and play it for you guys real quick. I'm not gonna do a breakdown for this beat. Y'all obviously seen how I broke down the sample, but I just want to show y'all how it could be flipped into a Detroit style type of beat.
It's me here, May.
So yeah, y'all, that was it for this week's sample breakdown video. I ended up including the beat too, just so y'all could kind of see what direction the sample can be taken in. If y'all gained any type of insight from this video, please leave a comment, please subscribe. It's really going to help the channel grow. If you guys are new to the channel, I do 2 beat breakdown videos a month, a sample breakdown just how I did today, and I also do sample flip challenges. So that's 1 new video every week. I really appreciate you guys. Stay blessed.